Today's video, we're going to talk about Google Ads needs attention on the conversion goals that you have in your Google Ads account and what these really actually mean at the end of the day, how you fix it, and what they mean, and whether or not you have to do anything at all, because it's not really causing you any problems at all. So if you're seeing this in your conversion goals menu under one or multiple goals that you've set up to track form fills, phone calls, cart purchases, live chat engagements, whatever it is that you're tracking, offline conversion goals, you will actually be able to fix this or leave it alone if you want, because it's not doing anything to you at the end of the day by the end of this video. With that said, I will go through what the formula is, and if you stay to the end of the video, I will have a key to this that will guaranteed make you more money with the tracking that you have in your account once you've got it set up. With that said, I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for clients' campaigns. We do not charge our clients management fees until we get them a certain minimum lift in their profitability in excess of whatever our management fee actually is. Are the only agency on the planet who offers such a contingency guarantee, which should tell you something about the quality of the information that is shared with you on this particular video. So with that said, getting into the content here. If you haven't had a conversion triggered in over 30 days that you've set up, conversion goal, whether it be to track phone calls, form fills, whatever, you'll usually get this message, needs attention, under the status column of your conversion goal menu. Obviously, as you could probably tell right away here, this could actually be because you've got something misconfigured, something changed, something broke, or your campaigns are just not working. So this could be someone changed some tracking code on your website, or your campaigns just aren't working anymore because someone made some changes on your campaigns. You wouldn't be surprised just how often at our advertising firm, where we've worked with hundreds of clients in the past, manage their Google Ads account, how often their tracking breaks because somebody at the company modified the website code. Whether they updated the website theme, they were doing some housekeeping on the website, or they updated, added some whatever to the website, the tracking just suddenly breaks, and we're scrambling to fix the tracking, given that the tracking's not working right, and you're relying on so much revenue to be pulled in from your Google Ads account on an ongoing basis, because it has been working for you for some time. The campaigns will go completely off into left field if you're using smart bidding, which most people are because it makes the most money. And by the time we set up the goals, usually the damage is already done. It'll take another 2, 3, 4 weeks just to get the campaigns go back to the level of performance they had before. And it was all because some bonehead developer said, I'm just going to go and make all these changes without talking to all the marketing department, and then they delete the tracking code, or it gets modified, other code overrides it, or what have you. Sometimes they'll just delete our landing pages too, which is really nice that they do that. So the first thing, generally speaking, that comes up that you should check is that the code is there using the Google Tag Inspector. You can add Google Tag Assistant on your web browser, and it'll tell you if your tag is still there on the pages on your website it's supposed to be on. See if at least the code is still there. That would be the first thing I check. Once that's done, I would go into your change history, and I would see if there was any changes made on your campaigns in the last 60 days as well. Because obviously, you'd be surprised how much the campaigns can be affected by just making one simple campaign change. Like, for instance, if you run PMAX campaigns and you go ahead and you remove the headlines or add a bunch of new headlines, you can actually take a campaign that was making $1,000 a day and have it make $300 a day overnight, just making that one simple change. If you're not dealing with very many conversions in general, it's very easy for a conversion goal to go to 0 conversions and then have this needs attention warning status on your goal itself, making a change like that on your account. If you normally get lots of conversions, then more than likely the code is broken and you need to fix that code. But with that said, how do you actually know that code's broken, replace the code, or think that you fixed the goal, that it's actually working now, instead of waiting forever, waiting another week to see if your conversion goal works? Well, there's a specific process that anybody can do that'll get you the results that you're looking for right away, of which I'll tell you about in just a second. I wanted to take a minute to explain to you that If you are looking to make millions of dollars a year running ads for your business, particularly on Google ads, but Facebook ads and other online ad venues, this channel has the best information you're going to be able to find online about that particular topic in specific, because this is exactly what I cover on this channel on an ongoing basis. I spend 40 hours a week doing ad strategy at our firm for dozens of ad accounts that we're responsible for getting guaranteed results for. And then I spend the weekends being able to just pile all the testing results that we have, what works, what doesn't work. Therefore, the information you're going to find on this channel is better than what you're going to find anywhere else about the topic of making money with ads. Given most of what you see out there is given to you by people who don't really run ads at all, believe it or not, or they run a couple ads and they really are just running their mouth, whatever, and the information isn't useful because of that. A lot of people will just read Google's documentation, regurgitate the information. That's not going to help you make millions of dollars with your ads. So if you want to really, if you're serious about making it work, you study the information on this channel, I promise you, if you put the work in, you'll be able to do that for yourself. Anybody can do it if they just put the work in and they know the strategies, which the strategies are all on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, you should subscribe. You should also check out my blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog actually has the actual strategies we're using to guarantee results for our clients. The step-by-step instructions with the screenshots, with everything you need to use them. So if you like the channel, you should definitely check that blog out as well. And of course, if you have any questions at all about anything that I'm covering here or any marketing related question for that matter, you can always leave me a comment in the comment section below. I get back to every single person that leaves me a comment or question on this channel, typically within 24 hours time. I love to be able to answer people's questions on this particular channel, as I want to give back, and of course it helps the channel grow through the increasing engagement, so we're happy to do it as well because of that alone. So that said, this methodology, so you know if you replace the code's working now, what you're going to do is step 1, set up a test search campaign with dummy keywords. Okay, so regardless if you're running a display campaign, YouTube ads campaign, whatever you're running, doesn't matter. You're going to create a test search campaign because it's easy to test your conversion goal with a standalone search campaign. And when I say dummy keywords, the reason why I mentioned doing this, to do this, is because it's often hard to get your own ad to show. Naturally, you could go and search for your own keywords on Google and get your ad to show and click through and test your goal. But a lot of you guys are going to have trouble with it. So what we do at our advertising firm is we go ahead and we will target keywords like test 1 or test this. Keywords that have enough search volume for us to still bid on, but basically there's almost no competition for. So that when we turn that campaign on, it's almost guaranteed that our ad will trigger, versus if, like for the keywords that you target, because Google's going to optimize your campaigns on a user level, you may not actually show when you search your own keywords because Google's algorithm thinks that you're not likely to convert, so they're not going to have your ad show for yourself, if that makes sense. A lot of whether your ad shows or not is based upon all the prior people that have searched for those keywords and who clicks on your ad versus somebody else's, who buys from your ad versus somebody else's, and them deciding if your ad should show based upon the statistical likelihood that you're going to be likely to turn into a customer or not. If you set up the test campaign, I like to set up a test campaign for every client, and it's just ready to go anytime we want to test the goals, of which you normally are going to want to test all your conversion goals every 30 days at least, because like I was mentioning before, things break all the time. And that's because the guys working on your site will make a change and all of a sudden it's broke. That's the most common cause. When you run your test campaign, then the step 2 is to trigger your own ad via searching for your dummy keywords, as I mentioned before. And then you're going to go through and you're going to go, whatever goal it is, if the goal that says needs attention is a form tracking goal, you're going to go ahead and fill out the form. Then you're going to wait 24 hours because it takes up to 24 hours for the conversion goal to show up in your account. Then if you find that the conversion goal hasn't showed up after a full at least 24 hours has passed and still says need attention along with it as a result, you're going to go ahead and fix that goal if necessary, which you're going to have to go to a qualified developer, which people make this mistake all the time. They think their in-house programmer can set up conversion tracking for them. Some of them can, a lot of them can't. What you really want, and this goes for any development project, you want somebody with experience developing that exact thing in order to hire them. For some reason in the ad management space, people think, oh, because you haven't worked in plumbing services, you can't do a plumbing campaign. I need a plumbing campaign specialist. Well, when it comes to development, they think their one developer can do everything. that has to do with development, no matter what it is, which is the opposite of what it should be there. So with that said, you want somebody who's set up hundreds of tracking installations on Google to know that it's going to be set up right and done right the first time. Go ahead, you either are going to go to a site like Upwork and find a Google tracking expert there that has had thousands of hours booked on that exact topic, which most of those guys doing that are going to charge over $100 an hour. And they're probably going to, if it's a complicated tracking installation, they're going to charge you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to set it up. More like $1,000. And if you go to a tracking firm that just specializes in tracking, which is what you would want to do if you wanted to go to a firm, it's going to be $3,000. But it's going to be set up right, and it's going to be set up the first time. And when you need to fix the goal in the future, that person's going to be available versus the $50 Fiverr guy. When it doesn't work, he's gone. Or when it works or it doesn't work in the future, he's gone. Can't stress enough. When the tracking breaks, you got to be able to have the tracking working, not tomorrow, now. Because the longer it runs without that, the clock's ticking. And if it doesn't run long enough, the algorithm that runs the ads, it's going to send your campaign into learning mode. And then it's going to take at least a week for your previous ad performance to come back. That's some tips about hiring a tracking person to actually fix the goal. Naturally, it might help if the goal was messed up to find out if anybody made changes to the site and tell that person, hey, I'm going to literally choke your ass if you make another change to the site and this tracking breaks again. Because naturally, anytime that happens, you're going to lose money. The longer it's broke, the more money you're going to lose if you use smart bidding. If you use manual bidding, it won't necessarily cause you to do anything. But even if you use manual bidding, I shouldn't say that. If you have the tracking goals, it's still going to impact your results, even with manual bidding without enhanced CPC on, just by itself. But it massively changes your results when the tracking breaks, when you have maximized conversions, maximize conversion value bidding strategies. Anyway, with that said, if you also want somebody that can right away fix your tracking, will be available basically 24 hours a day to fix tracking when you have an issue coming up. You can reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I can give you another 10, 20 ideas that will raise the profitability of your ads right away. Why? Because I've got 2 decades of experience running Google ads and I know all the tricks and can give you a guarantee of results. That is to raise your profit a certain minimum amount. With it, if we agree to take you on as a client, we can do that for you. You just have to reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about that particular subject. By the way, we also been selling ad templates. If you are in an industry or niche market that we've been in before, and we've worked in hundreds of niche markets, so the chances are high that we've worked in your niche market before, if it's a fairly common one, we could sell you the winning ad templates, landing page templates, campaign templates that work for your niche market that we use to get good results in your market already in a different geographic area, different city, different country. You buy those from us for 4-figure fee. You copy paste it into your account. You're going to have $1 million campaign for a 4-figure fee inside your account working for you and get results right away with it. It would be to your best interest to at least reach out and see what results we've got in your space, and to at least find out if what results we're getting is way better than what you're getting, because there'd be no situation you're going to get those same results for cheaper than what we sell the template for, because we already spent probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to figure out what was the best ad that we could possibly find in that market that you're in and so forth. Which, by the way, these templates are great to start other new businesses. If you want to start a second business, the easiest way to do that is just to get a template that already works for a market and then build your business around that damn template. We've got people that use these templates because we're able to generate leads so cheaply, because all of our techniques are super advanced. We know all the tricks with Google ads and Facebook ads, and we got templates for other ad platforms too, that they can basically sell the leads for a 50% markup to people in that industry, and people are knocking down their doors to get them. Or we got people that start up a campaign, answer the phone, pretend like they're doing the work for a service company, and then sub out the work to somebody else. Anyway, if you're interested in an opportunity like that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I mentioned if you stayed to the end of the video, I would give you a guaranteed way to make more money from your campaigns as it comes to track. The main thing with that is I want to give you 2 main master tips before I wrap up this video. Number 1, if you're generating leads, you need to track your leads all the way to a sale, or at least whether you know that lead's a quality lead or not, and score the lead and get that back in your ad account. And the best way to do that is through the manual offline conversion tracking upload process, where you take a spreadsheet, you give it back to Google, so that your campaigns and the smart bidding that the campaigns are using is going to be able to optimize on the profit level, not cost per lead level. And even if you're an e-commerce business, but you take some orders over the phone, you can get those phone orders back into your account the same way. This will triple literally how much you're able to make from that account long term just by doing that one simple thing. Because the algorithm is going to be so much more accurate in what it's doing for you and how it's going to help you scale. There's that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention to you is, as I mentioned before, the more conversion data you have in your account, the better, which is why the offline conversion tracking is going to triple your results. The more accurate your data, the better. The more consistent your data, the better. If you want to make more money, you just want to make your tracking setup really rock solid so you don't have an issue or any gaps in your tracking ever again. You know, the best way to do that is to test your goals on a regular basis, at least once a month, if not once a week. So you know anytime a goal breaks, you'll be on it right away. But on top of that, you can actually, one way to know if your tracking is broken is just to see if the goal says needs attention. Well, that's one way, but I can tell you from personal experience here, a lot of times a goal will intermittently work. So a goal could maybe only be tracking 60% of the purchases through that purchase tracking goal, not 100%. How do you know that is even broken? If you don't know what to look for, your campaigns are going to go off in the left field and you're going to think it's the campaigns that are the problem, hypothetically speaking, and you're going to make adjustments to your campaigns, which are going to cause you to have even more negative results. Whereas if you would have just understood how to audit and find that the tracking's not working 100% like it's supposed to, you'd have avoided all that. The best way to do exactly that, as I just mentioned, to know if a goal is intermittently working, is to set up a mirror goal. There's two ways to set up conversion goals in Google Ads. You could do a Google Ads conversion goal and a Google Analytics conversion goal that you set up through Google Analytics and then import into Google Ads, okay? And the Google Ads conversion goal is set up through the Google Ads conversion tracking tag. Your best bet is to do both. Set up the Google Ads conversion goal to track your forms and set up your Google Analytics account to track your forms and have them both running in your account. You have a backup goal to go to if the first one that you're using as your primary ever breaks. But you will know if the primary is ever only partially counting conversions because you can compare the conversion goals to the primary goal to this backup goal. You know, normally, let's say Google Ads will generally count a tad bit more conversions than Google Analytics will, tracking the same phone calls and stuff, everything else in terms of lead generation. For purchases, Google Ads, if you set up the Google Ads purchase tracking goal through Google Ads itself, through the Google Ads conversion tracking tag, it'll count about 30% more conversions than tracking those same cart purchases using your Google Analytics account, okay? Which is why you want to set up your Google Ads purchase tracking goal through Google Ads and use that as your primary. But goals only work intermittently. It generally speaking is with the purchase tracking goal. And so if you have the Google Analytics account tracking cart purchases and you got the Google Ads conversion tag tracking purchases, and you'll know that, on an ongoing basis, if you check once a week your conversion tracking, if your Google Ads purchase tracking goal isn't consistently counting 30% more than the Google Analytics purchase tracking goal is, then that Google Ads purchase tracking goal needs to be looked at. It's not working. And a lot of times in that case, by the way, when it breaks, you will simply delete the goal and then restart it again. And not literally through the Google Ads system, but through Google Tag Manager or a plugin that you're using on your site, just deactivate and reactivate it again. Usually it will fix it in that case where it's intermittently working. So that's another $1 million tip for you, because if you run your ads long term, it's not a matter of if your tracking will break. It's just a matter of when. So you want to be prepared when it happens and to get up and going as quickly as possible. And you got to be able to know it's working past, oh, it says 0, it's not working. Or it shows some conversions, it's working, because that's not good enough. And if you neglect what I'm telling you here, and you do have a goal that's especially a purchase tracking goal that's intermittently counting, you can really if your business relies on Google Ads to be able to operate, you can destroy your whole business, frankly. And you may not take it seriously now, but if you build up to where you're doing a couple $1 million a year in business off of this Google Ads, 80% of your revenue of which comes through Google Ads, and your tracking breaks, and therefore you get half the sales you were getting before, and you've got all this overhead now, you had to build up your overhead just to be able to service that many customers, you can easily go out of business with that one simple mistake of not taking tracking seriously, having, a backup contingency plan when it breaks to get up and going as quickly as possible, having a backup goal that you can potentially switch to right away, and so forth, like I talked about on this video. So, of which, by the way, if you want to know, as a side, I've started up just doing coaching calls with clients, not just doing monthly management of ads for clients on monthly retainer, because a lot of you guys watching needs, frankly, I realize, somebody to analyze your whole business. Analyze your business, your pricing strategy, your website. Is your website good enough? Your landing pages, are they good enough? Your ads, and how it all ties together. I've helped hundreds of companies result with their ads. And a lot of it, you guys are focused on, you're looking through a straw and you're trying to get the Google ads to work when really your pricing strategy wasn't working or wasn't set up to be competitive in your space. Or you specifically had a problem with your website. The trustability of the website due to the design quality wasn't up to par. And then that's what's holding you back. If you want to know in 30 minutes what you should be doing to get to the next level, I would be happy to do that for you. And it would be very, very helpful to get a second pair of eyes on what you're doing and can do that for you. Just reach out to me at my firm at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be happy to do that for you as well. With that said, I'm going to wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said conversion goals was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.